focus on there. Today's main focus is going to be the hips. The hips are the most influential area of the body. When the hips move well, when they're strong and when they're mobile, everything above and below the hips moves a lot better. So when we align the hips, immediately we affect the way that our shoulders are sitting, the way that our knees are sitting, the way that our whole body is aligned. So we'll be focusing here. As far as safety goes and making sure that no one gets injured during class, first thing, always listen to your own body. I'm not in your body. I don't know what you're feeling. So if you're feeling something that doesn't feel good to you, stop and come out. You can watch class. You can ask me a question in the chat option there, and I can address your specific needs the best I can. So listening to your own body, but I do want to encourage everybody today, motion is lotion for the joint. So movement is something that brings circulation, healing. It brings, all the nutrients, everything that our joints need to heal. And so if you've been not moving, maybe you haven't been walking or bending or doing some things because you're in pain and you're not wanting to, flare up your issues or prolong them. Today I encourage you to try to move without fear. When we have an injury, our body goes into protective mode and it shuts down the muscles surrounding the joint, and pretty soon the joint becomes weaker and more dysfunctional, and that furthers our injury, increases our pain, and sort of adds to this whole issue. So motion is lotion. Move without fear. Your body will give you feedback. Not all pain is bad. We do want muscle soreness. After class, you guys might feel right away, it might take a day to feel the muscle soreness set in. Basically what muscle soreness is we're going in and we're tearing muscles, micro tears in the muscles. So these muscles tear as we stretch them and make them longer, and then the muscle fills in with more muscle, and so it becomes longer and stronger. A short muscle, a tight muscle, is a dysfunctional muscle. It's one that's lost its ability to glide and contract and work the way it's supposed to. So these exercises are designed to go in, micro tear the muscle fills in with more muscle and heals in a longer position, so you've got a longer and stronger muscle, that's what we want. So listen to your body. Remember, not all pain is bad. Motion is lotion. Movement can heal joint issues, especially what we're working on today, realignment of the hips, okay? So what you'll need today is a mat or just a soft place to get down on the ground. We're gonna be on the ground just a little bit today, and then something to hold on to. If you don't have something, that's okay, but ideally you have a chair or a stool or even just a wall, something to hold on to. We're gonna be doing a little bit of hip hinging. Sometimes the balance gets a little bit tricky. So I'm just gonna check out the comments here. We've got some lower back pain, need stronger core, need to work on muscle imbalances. This class will address all of that very, very well. If you feel your back during class, remember, it's not necessarily a bad thing. All of the movement that we're gonna be doing, all the exercises keep a neutral spine. It's very safe for back issues. That being said, that doesn't mean you may not feel those muscles turn on. That's okay. Again, motion is lotion. We want to wake things up a little bit. We've got posterior pelvic tilt, weak glutes, chronic low back pain, best exercises. Kim, you are in the right place. Posterior pelvic tilt, that's when the pelvis falls under, okay? So these muscles on the back side of the body have become chronically short and tight. They're not working. We're going to be doing, you're in the right class, Kim. We're going to be doing a ton of stuff to address that today. If stuff comes up along the way, hey, I run, I get knee pain, put it in the chat option there, and then after class, I'll try to address some of those questions, okay? Class is going to be about 30 minutes, you guys. It's very repetitive in nature. We are reprogramming the body. We are trying to replace all of our bad movement patterns by repeating good ones over and over again. So it's very repetitive. Again, we're going to stick with the basics. We're going to start with some refreshers from the introductory class. Some of you were in class, some of you were. So we'll start with some hinging, some decompression breathing, the basics, and then we're going to move into some functional movements, okay? We're going to incorporate some foundation training where we are activating the posterior chain, and then once it's activated, we're taking that into some very functional and safe exercises, okay? So we're going to start today, you guys, with some body weight squats, okay? So to have you stand about shoulder width apart, Remember, your squats don't have to be as deep as mine. Listen to your own body, okay? So we're shoulder width apart. The knees are unlocked. The toes are slightly externally rotated. And we're gonna start with 15 body weight squats. And I want you to take mental note what you feel. Do you feel your quads, your back, your glutes? What do you feel, okay? So as you squat, reach your hips back, drop down, drive through the heels to stand up. You're trying to go about parallel with the ground, but again, don't push it. If you haven't been doing squats for a while, stay nice and shallow. Keep the weight in the heels. The spine stays neutral. Pull the hips back. Push through the heels to come up. The knees travel away from the center of the body as you lower. Don't try to hold the knees in place. Let them pull away from the center of the body. Keep squatting nice and slow. Driving through the heels to come up, and just take mental note what you feel. What muscles are working for you? Good. 5 more. Push through the heel. Reach the hips back. You're really sitting back into it. Your weight is right at that tipping point. Last 2. Good. Pushing through the heel. And 1 more. Great job, you guys. So that's a little bit of a test. We're going to revisit that exercise at the end of class. Take mental note what you felt there. We're going to do it again. It's going to feel different at the end of class. Okay, come on down to the ground or to your mat. We're going to start on all fours here. We're basically just going to wake up the back side of the body with some bird dogs. Okay, so your hands are under your shoulders, knees under your hips. You're going to extend your right arm and left leg. Come back to the center, other side. We're going to march here for 1 minute. Okay, just nice and slow. Engaging the glutes as the leg extends. Reaching the hand forward. Keeping the spine long and the hips nice and stable. And just march, nice and slow. You feel the muscles along the spine start to wake up. Really pull the heel away from the hip. We want length and then tension. Reach for it. Good, we're about halfway there. Keep going. You should feel those glutes as you extend and squeeze. Feel the muscles in your shoulders waking up. 15 seconds. Reach, reach. Good. Squeezing the glutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Great job, you guys. Come on up. We're going to move right into hip hinges. If you weren't in the introductory class, we'll go over the basics. We're going to stand a little wider than shoulder width apart, toes closer together than heels, okay? Knees are softened, spine stays neutral. I want you to keep this long and engaged throughout the whole class, okay? So knees are softened, weight is in the heels. From here, we're going to pull our hips back and allow our hands and chest to come forward to counter, okay? So we're going to repeat this hinge about 20 times, and the whole focus is the motion is happening at the hip joint. The spine is staying long and neutral. Pull the hips back. Drive through the heels. Remember, this is not a squat. The knees are following the hips as the hips pull back. Reach the hips back. Push through the heels and stand tall. Reach the hips back. Drive through the heels. The weight is right at your tipping point, way back in the heels. Want to feel like you're going to fall over backwards? It's your posterior chain that will hold you up. Pull the hips back. Drive through the heels. 5 more. Nice and slow. Reaching the hips back. Getting a little bit more range of motion, especially for those of you with back pain and pelvic tilt. We're increasing the distance in those muscles. We're pulling them long. You'll feel this tomorrow. Good. Last 2. Reaching back. Standing tall. Pull back. Last 1. Drive through the heels. Single most important movement pattern we have is the hip hinge. That's what you just did. When you bend, that's how you want to bend. Neutral spine, mobile hips. We're going to move into some decompression breathing. I'm going to have you stand toes touching, heels a couple inches apart. Knees are softened, okay? We're going to use our measuring sticks, thumbs on the rib cage, pinkies on the hip bone, shoulders relaxed down and away from the ears. Every inhale, I want you to lift the rib cage up as long as you can make yourself, okay? On the exhale, maintain that height. These muscles become engaged as they pull up against gravity and then tighten, okay? So here we go, big deep breath in. Lengthen, exhale, don't fall back down, stay long. Should feel like you're doing a plank, standing up. Here we go, big deep breath in. Good, exhale, maintain all that length, and you'll feel all these deep trunk muscles waking up, activating and helping to pull up against gravity. Big deep breath in. Lift up, up, up. Exhale, maintain that height. Keep breathing. Every breath, get a little bit longer through the torso. Knees are soft, weights in the heels. Big deep breath in. Exhale. Okay, on this next exhale, we're gonna think about even getting longer, more distance, more height. Here we go. Inhale. Up, up, up. Exhale, even more height. Exhale, keep going. Stay long. Here we go. 2 more big deep breaths. Lift up, up, up on the inhale. Maintain that height on the exhale. Last breath. Filling the rib cage. Lots of length in the spine. Exhale, stay long. Great job, you guys. Go ahead and just relax, shake that out a little bit. Decompression breathing retrains our trunk muscles to be long and strong. We don't want collapsed posture. Just staying long through the torso addresses a lot of joint issues, okay? So decompression breathing is something we're gonna take into the workout today. We're gonna go into a woodpecker. I want you to stand hip width apart. Knees are softened. We're gonna step 1 foot back, about 2.5 to 3 feet behind you. Notice when I step back, my hip pulled back with me, okay? So we're getting deep into the back of the posterior hip capsule. So the hips are pulled back, the weight is in the front heel. Right away, you push up on the ball of the back foot. The back leg is a kickstand, there's no weight back there. All of your weight is in your front heel. We're gonna reach the hands forward off the forehead, connect all 10 fingertips, pushing them together, and hold. Every breath is a decompression breath. Lengthening the spine on the inhale, drawing the belly button in on the exhale, and tightening up the core. The front hip is reaching back. You're getting deeper into that glute with every breath, and all of your weight is centered over your front heel. You should feel the back of your front leg on fire. 3 more big decompression breaths. Length, exhale, pulling the belly button in tight. Keep pushing your weight through that front heel. Make sure your chest is reaching out over your front toe while your hip pulls back. 1 more big deep breath. Exhale, pushing through that front heel, and go ahead and step forward. If you did that correctly, you're gonna feel a huge glute activation. Awesome for back pain. That exercise will pull you out of pain. You activate the glutes, the muscle tension in the lower back just goes away, okay? So same thing on the other side, hip width apart, stepping the other leg back. Pushing up on the ball of the back foot, right away. All of the weight centered over the front heel. The front knee is not bent, it's not locked out, it's softened, okay? The weight pushing through the front heel, the hips are square, hands forward, reaching them off the forehead, connecting all 10 fingertips, and holding. Every breath is a decompression breath, lengthening on the inhale, drawing the belly button in tight on the exhale. Your front hip, the glute you're working on, is pulling back, deeper, deeper into the hinge. You're driving through that front heel. Every breath is length, exhale, tension. Keep holding 10 seconds. Check in with yourself. Where's your weight? Is it in your back foot? If it is, push up on that back foot a little bit more. Drive through the front heel. Last breath. Inhale, length. Exhale, tightening up the core, pushing through that front heel, and step forward. Great job, you guys. Okay, we've activated the glutes. We're gonna go back to the hip hinge, a little bit wider this time. Let's go about 3 feet apart. Knees are softened, weights in the heels. We're gonna pull the hips back into a deep hinge. Hands come forward to counter. Drive through the heels and stand up. 20 hinges, here we go, nice and slow. Knees are softened, pull back. Spine stays neutral. Drive through the heel, glutes contract, and pull the hips forward. So as we reach back, the hamstrings and glutes lengthen. Here they contract. They're the pulley system that does all of our bending motion. Keep going, nice and slow. Remember, every breath, you're trying to lengthen the torso. On the exhale, you're drawing your belly button in for a little bit of support on the front side of the body for the lower back. Keep going, nice and slow. Every hinge, the focus is to get a little bit deeper into those glutes and hamstrings. Push through the heels. You may feel this in your lower back. If your lower back has been overactive or tight for a long time, that's okay. What we're doing is we're waking up the glutes and the hamstrings so that they do all of this work for you. We're reprogramming. 5 more. Pull back. Drive through the heels. Reach back. Push through the heels. Last 3. Pull back hard. Really pushing through the heels and seeing how many muscles on the back side of your body you can feel as you drive through the heels. We're going to hold the last one. Pull back into a hinge. Hands come off the forehead. Knees are softened. Hips are pulling back. Reach them back. Nice and deep. Big decompression breath. Lengthening on the inhale. Tightening up on the exhale. Pull the hips back. One more big deep breath. Lengthen. Exhale. Great job, and come on out of that. That is called the founder. It's basically a plank for your posterior chain, strengthening all the muscles together, okay? We're gonna combine a single leg hip hinge with woodpeckers. This is how I incorporate foundation training into my own workouts so that my glutes are actually working. Everything we do shuts the glutes off, so they're on vacation. We get into our workouts and we can't figure out where we don't feel in the right places. Use this exercise before you squat, lunge, and do your deadlifts to activate the right area, okay? So we're gonna go back into the woodpecker, stand hip width apart, step 1 foot back about 2.5 feet behind you. Front knee is softened, don't bend it too much. Soften, up on the back foot, all of your weight pushing through your front heel. Torso stays neutral. We're gonna reach that front hip back as the chest comes forward and push through the front heel. You'll feel the glute contract and lift the torso up. Pull the hip back, chest comes forward, drive through the heel. This is called a woodpecker hinge. We're retraining all the muscles on the back side of your body to do bending for us. Pull the hip back, drive through the heel. If you're doing this right, you're gonna feel those glutes and hamstrings really working as you push through the heel and lift the torso. Remember, your only thought here is to drive the front heel into the ground. All of your weight centered over that front heel, the back side of your leg doing all of the work. You can see my spine is just along for the ride. 3 more hinges, nice and slow. Reach the hip back, drive through the heel, pull the hip back, push through the heel. Last one, we're gonna hinge halfway out of this one and hold. Hands come forward off the forehead, connect all 10 fingertips. Big decompression breath. Push through that front heel. 3, 2, 1, step forward. Great job, you guys. Hopefully you guys felt that in your glute, okay? So we're gonna, now that we've activated that left glute, I'm gonna have you hold on to your chair, a wall. I want you to hold on to something. Balance is not what we're working on here. We're just trying to activate the glute, okay? So you're gonna hold on to something. If you just activated the glute that you're working on, you're gonna stand on that leg, okay? You're gonna hold on to something on the opposite side of your body, or sorry, same side of your body, okay? Working your left glute, left arm's gonna hold on to your chair. What we're gonna do is a single leg hip hinge, okay? So you're gonna hold on to your chair and you're gonna pull your hip back, keeping the spine neutral. Come down till your chest is about parallel with the ground, and then I want you to drive through your heel and stand back up. So from the side, holding onto your chair, standing on the leg you're working on, pull the hip back, keeping the hips square, and then drive through your heel to come back up. Again, if you're doing this right, you're gonna feel a huge glute activation here, driving through the heel. You can see the spine stays neutral, all of the motion is happening at the hip. So we've got 10 on each side, holding onto your chair, reach back, drive through the heel. Single leg hip hinge is one of my very favorite glute strengthening exercises. When it comes to joint pain, few muscles are as important as the glutes. The glutes are very influential, okay? Nice and slow, last 5. Reaching the hip back, drive through the heel, Keep going, nice and slow. All the motion is happening right at that hip joint. You're feeling the back of the leg really light up here. Reaching back, drive through the heel, last two. Pull back, press through the heel, one more. Reaching back, drive through the heel. Okay, we're gonna go right into a woodpecker hold. Step that opposite leg back, still working on the same side. Hands up off the forehead. Hold the hip back that you're working on. Hold right there, 10 seconds. Pushing through that front heel. Glute should be on fire. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, step forward. Okay, you guys, if you didn't feel that in your glutes, they're on vacation. You should really have felt that in your glutes. This stuff takes time to feel in the right places. So if you didn't feel it there, you felt your back, again, just stick with it. Keep practicing these exercises. Eventually those muscles will join you, okay? Let's go right into the other side, same thing. Stepping the opposite leg back, the leg we just worked on. We've got a new glute to fire up here. So we're gonna step back, hands on the hips, no weight in the back leg. All of your weight is pushing through your front heel, okay? You're gonna pull the front hip back, torso comes down, push through the front heel as you activate the glute and come back up. Reach the hip back, push through the heel. Make sure that front knee is just softened. It's not bending, it's just softened. There you go. Pull the hips back, slowly push through the heel. 5 more. Hip back, drive that front heel, feeling all the muscles on the back of the leg contract and pull the torso up. Last 3. Reach back, press through the heel. 2 more. Drive that heel. Last one. We're going to come halfway out of the last one. Hands forward and hold. All of your weight centered over your front heel. Keep pushing through the heel. 1 big decompression breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job, you guys. Okay, holding onto your chair, other side of your body. Got your chair here stabilizing you. We're not working on balance, we're just trying to get the glutes fired up here. So you're gonna go right into your single leg hip hinge, reaching the hip back, driving through the heel. Now notice my knee stays softened. It's not bent, it's just softened. So I'm lengthening these muscles and then contracting them as I push through my heel. Okay, so keep holding on. Reach back, make sure the hips stay square. Weights in the heel, drive through the heel to come up. Keep going, we've got 10 on this side, nice and slow. Reaching back, press through the heel. Last 5, pull back, drive the heel. 4 more, try to keep the spine nice and long. Remember that decompression breath. See how far you can reach your front hip back. Reach back, drive through the heel. Last 2, pull back, press through the heel, good. 1 more. Reach back, drive through the heel. Great job, you guys. Okay, stepping the opposite leg back, working on the same glute, stepping into a woodpecker, pull that front hip back, push up on the ball of the back foot. All of your weight is in your front heel. Hold right there, 10 seconds, big decompression breath. Pulling the front hip back, pushing through the front heel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job, you guys. Okay, right back into hinges. Wide stance again. Knees softened, about 3 feet apart. Toes closer together than heels. Bring those toes in. We're gonna pull in with the adductors, the muscles on the inner thigh, okay? So outside edges of the feet are pushing into the ground. You're pulling together with these adductor muscles. We're just trying to wake them up a little bit and take them into our hinge. Hips pull back. Drive through the heels. So the weight is in the heels. You're pulling your feet toward each other with your inner thigh muscles. Just enough so you can feel them turn on. We want them to join us with the hinge here. Those muscles are extremely influential in stabilizing the pelvis. Reach back. Drive through the heels. Keep going nice and slow. As hip hinge starts to feel a little more familiar to you. Again, in foundation training, we repeat these patterns over and over again. So the next time you go to bend, you bend like this. Your body will thank you. Last 3. Reaching back. Push through the heel. 2 more. Hold the hips back. Drive through the heels. Last one. Reach the hips back. We're gonna hold. Hands off the forehead. Connect the fingertips. Weights in the heels. Big decompression breath. Length on the inhale. Tighten the belly up on the exhale. And coming forward. Great job, you guys. Your posterior chain should feel like it's alive. Okay, so we're gonna do woodpecker rotations and take that into a step back lunge. Lunge is one of my very favorite lower body functional, very safe lower body functional exercises. But it's done a lot better if you can activate the glutes and get them going before you go into the exercise, okay? So we're gonna go into a woodpecker. Go ahead and step 1 foot back behind you, about 2.5 feet. Push up on the ball of the back foot. So right away, all of your weight goes into your front heel. You're gonna put your hands on your hips, make sure the torso stays long. We're gonna take our back hip and rotate it toward our front knee. You're going to rotate toward your leg in front. We're pulling the glute long, and then we're gonna hold right here. While you're holding, make sure there's no weight in your back foot. All of it is centered in your front heel. Let's reach the hands forward for a little bit of added weight. Connect the fingertips. Take a big decompression breath and really push through that front heel. Drive the heel into the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hands come back to hips. I want you to push through your front heel and come back to the center. We're gonna rotate in, dropping the back hip down toward the front knee. Push through the front heel. Bring the hips back to square. Drop the hip down into the rotation. Drive through the heel to bring the hips back to square. You're gonna feel your glutes doing all of this rotational work for you. Last one. Drop down, drive through the heel to come back to square, step forward. Staying on that same side, we're gonna step back into a lunge. Okay, so from the side, what I want you guys to think about is when you're in the bottom of the lunge, your knee is over your heel. Okay, so you wanna keep your knee centered over your heel. So the whole focus here is big step back, drive through the heel. If you need to keep it shallow, that's okay, just don't go quite as deep. We're gonna go 15 lunges on each side. Stepping back, push through the heel. Keep going nice and slow. The whole focus here, the glutes should be doing the majority of the work. Most of us are so quad dominant, the quads are doing all the work. I want you to focus on driving through that heel, activating the glute, really getting it to do most of this work. Keep going, nice and slow. Great job, you guys. Step back, drive through the heel, 4 more. Push through the heel. Big step back, torso stays long, shoulders over hips. Good, last one. Great job, you guys. Okay, let's pick on the other side. Hip width apart, step the other leg back. Right away, all of your weight centered over your front heel. Push up on the ball of the back foot. Make sure the torso is long. Hips square, okay? So hands on your hips for this one. We're gonna rotate toward the leg in front, dropping the back hip down toward our front knee. Hands come forward and hold. Keep reaching your front hip back and driving through that front heel. And just hold. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hands back to hips. Push through the front heel and bring your hips back to square. Okay, rotate again, dropping the back hip down towards your front knee. Drive through your front heel, contracting your glutes, and bring your hips back to square. Try to make sure when you're rotating, the weight isn't sinking into your back leg, staying in your front heel. Drop that back hip down, drive through the heel, last 2. Spine is long, weights in the heel. Push through that heel, 1 more. Good, rotate, driving through the heel to come back to center. Okay, here we go, right into our lunges. Stepping back into a lunge, push through the heel, big step back, drive through the heel. We've got 15 of them. See how much you can use that glute. Should be working for you. Good, shoulders over hips, weight in the heel. Big step back, good, last 6. Push through that heel, try to use your glutes. That's it, last 5. Good. 4, big step back. 3, 2, and 1 more. Great job, you guys. Okay, we're gonna go back into a hip hinge, this time a narrow stance with internal rotation. So big toes touching. You're gonna push your big toes together throughout the whole hinge. You're gonna feel those inner thighs turning on. Knees are softened, weights in the heels, palms forward, pinkies on hip bones. You're gonna pull the hips back, drive through the heels. Remember, throughout the whole hinge, your big toes are pulling toward each other. We're creating a little bit of internal hip rotation. All that does is lengthen and activate the glutes just a little more effectively. Keep hinging. Reach back, drive through the heel. See how far you can get into those glutes and hamstrings back there. Spine is neutral. Weight is way back at that tipping point. Big toes are pushing together. Push through the heels. Last 3. Reach back. Press. Good. 2 more. Pull back. Good. We're going to hold this last one. Hold the hips back. Hands off the forehead. Big toes pushing together. Weights in the heels. Let's go 3 big decompression breaths. Notice from the side, my hips are behind my heels. My back is flat and straight. Big deep breath in. Length. Exhale. 1 more big deep breath. Length. Exhale. Great job, you guys. Shake it out. All right, you guys should be feeling your posterior chain on. We're going to finish with 2 static stretches. My favorite static stretches for the front side of the body. What I'm going to have you guys do is, let's do the first one standing up. We'll do the second one kneeling on the ground. I want you guys to think about when you're doing this is length. When you get into this position, the longer you can make your torso, the more beneficial this stretch is going to be for you, okay? So think about when you're breathing, breathe up. Try to breathe more length into the body. I'm going to have you stand hip width apart. We're going to take your right leg and step it behind and inside your left, okay? So from the front, you've taken your right leg behind, inside, okay? So right away, you're going to feel a pull through the outside of the hip. This is the TFL muscle, top of the IT band. Really important for low back pain and knee pain, okay? So the hip sticks out to the side, the pelvis is tucked under, and we're gonna reach that same arm up and hold right here. So you're just pushing your hip out to the side, and then you're reaching. Every breath trying to get a little bit longer through the torso. You should feel a nice tug through the side of the hip, the side of the torso. Keep reaching up. Static stretch, you wanna hold for a minute, okay? So we've got another 30 seconds. Hips pushing out, every breath is a lengthening breath. As you sink in a little bit deeper, keep pushing that hip out to the side. Good, 15 seconds. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, let that hip sink a little bit deeper. 10 seconds. Good, reaching. 5, 4, 3, 2, great job. Same thing on the other side. Stepping that left leg behind you and then inside the front leg, okay? So you're behind inside, hips out to the side, reaching that same arm up and over, pushing the hip out to the side. You should feel a nice tug through the side of the hip, maybe the front of the hip a little bit. Good. Every breath is a lengthening breath. Lengthen, pushing the hip out to the side. Good. Keep reaching. Just remember, when these muscles become tight from sitting too much, they inhibit the posterior chain. They turn it off. So the more we lengthen the front side of the body, the stronger the back side of the body can be. Another 15 seconds, just reaching, really leaning into it, opening up that hip. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job, you guys. Okay, come on down to the ground. If you're able to roll up your mat, that's ideal. If you have a pillow, that's even better. We're gonna do static quad stretch. You're gonna kneel on one side, other leg goes in front of you. Right away, you're gonna tuck the pelvis under, okay? So you're gonna engage the front, squeezing the glute in the back and tuck the pelvis under. We're gonna increase the tension through here. So your pelvis is tucked. You're going to slide the hips forward. You should not be able to go that far. If you're here, your pelvis still isn't tucked. So make sure to keep the pelvis tucked. You're gonna slide forward until you feel tension in the quads. For me, that's right here. Nice little pull through the front, and then you're gonna reach that same side, same arm up over your head. You're gonna point your thumb backwards. The thumb is pointed backwards, the hips are tucked under, and you're sliding your hips forward, feeling a nice tug through the front of the leg you're kneeling on. We're gonna hold here for a minute. Again, just lengthening those chronically tight muscles at the front side of the body. When we sit, these muscles adapt to that position. They become a little bit shorter every time we sit. And when they get too short, they turn the muscles off on the back side of the body and they compress our lumbar spine. Okay, another 15 seconds, tucking the pelvis under, letting the hips slide forward, reaching the arm high over your head. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job, you guys. Same thing on that other side. Kneeling on one side, other leg goes up in front of you. Tuck the pelvis under. You want that posterior tuck, increasing the pull in the front, sliding the hips forward until you feel the pull. Remember, we're not going here. We're keeping the tension in the front by tucking and sliding. Same arm goes up over your head. Thumb is pointed backward. You're holding right here. Make sure to keep the tuck and keep the hips sliding forward, not too far. Don't lose that tension. Good, and just holding right there. Every breath, you're trying to get a little bit longer through the torso. You might feel one side tighter than the other. For me, my right side is tighter. So usually if you have a tighter side in the front, that means that that glute of the tighter side is weaker. It's more inhibited. So it's something to kind of take mental note of when you're working out. Maybe do a little more woodpeckers on that tight side. That glute is probably a little bit more dormant. Okay, so holding here another 15 seconds. Tucking under and sliding the hips forward. Every breath is lengthening. Good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job, you guys. Come on up and shake it out. Really good job. So just remember, when you go into your day-to-day movement patterns, remember to hip hinge. It's the most important movement pattern we have. When we bend, if we can put the motion in the hip joints, our body is going to be really happy. Our back, that tension just gets to go away. It's no longer the primary mover. It's no longer doing all the bending force. The glutes and the hamstrings are doing all the work. So tonight when you brush your teeth, hips back, chest comes forward. Every time you bend, getting something off the ground, use your glutes. Pull your hips back. That allows those muscles to lengthen and then activate as you stand back up. Thank you guys so much for joining. I hope everyone's posterior chain is feeling a little bit more alive this morning. Next week, class is going to be a little bit different. We will incorporate some of these basics, but each class is going to be a little bit different with a slightly different focus. So you can go into same registration, align with Kate, and sign up for next week's class if you're interested. And everybody will be, if you register, even if you can't make it during this time, everybody will be sent a copy of class replay. So thank you guys all so much for joining. We'll see you next week.